Next up at UFC Vegas 75, we have Kyung Ho Kang taking on Cristian Quinonez. Kyung Ho Kang is 18-9 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off the very fun win over Dana Bagarai. Cristian Quinonez, 18-3 overall, 5-0 in his last 5, coming off that quick win over Khalid Taha. And Kyung Ho Kang is a really well-rounded fighter. He uses range to keep you at distance when he wants, and then he'll use that exact same range to close the distance and work in some takedowns. He averages about 2 takedowns per fight, and once he gets you to the ground, he's got really heavy top pressure and submissions. He's coming off that win over Dana Bagarai where he went 0 for 2 on takedowns, but he had an insane jab that entire fight. He's taking on Cristian Quinonez. That dude has relentless forward pressure. He baits you into brawls, and then he'll look to grapple. His technique is not the cleanest, but he's just nonstop coming forward, and he's going to make up for that poor technique with just pressure and pace. His pace can actually be too much. We've seen him come forward nonstop, get a takedown, and then literally keep moving. He, instead of settling and keeping the position, locking in the takedown, racking up some control time, he'll just roll right through it. And now he's in a scramble, and then maybe he ends up on bottom, and he just needs to start to slow himself down. But this should be a really fun fight. Christian's clearly going to have the pressure, the pace. Kang's probably going to have the cleaner overall technique. If Kang pumps that jab out there the exact same way he did in his last fight, he could win this fight and he could look phenomenal doing it. I think, though, that this fight's ultimately going to come down to the wrestling, and I think the nonstop pace, the forward wrestling pressure of Quinonez is going to get it done. I like Quinonez to win here, so he's going to be the pick. I was hoping for a 1.5 round line, but we got a 2.5. Almost. There's 14 fights on this card. Only 2 of them. Only freaking 2 of them are 1.5. So I hate when I don't have 1.5 to work with. But
you're going to play the over or under?
I would have done the over on a 1.5. But I do like Christian to win this fight. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I think that this fight, you're going to be able to tell how this fight is going, I think, in the first minute or two, because in my mind, I agree with the jab. I mean, that guy's got a very, very snappy jab. And against Dana, that worked very, very well. And the thing that really worked in his favor, that could work in his favor in this fight, that didn't really deter Dana for some reason, is the leg kick. I mean, he was beating the absolute fuck out of Dana's leg. I mean, that thing was purple, swollen. It looked fucking disgusting, and Dana was still marching forward. He needs to land early leg kicks to slow down the movement of Christian, because Christian is just so side to side, and if he is that fluid with his movement, that jab's not going to be there in my mind. I mean, with Dana was very basic, kind of stood in front of him, so boom, boom, that jab is going to work very, very well because that guy's very, very stationary. That jab is not going to work unless you slow the movement down on Christian, so he needs to land early leg kicks and hope they affect the movement of Christian, in my mind, to really have a chance in this fight, because I believe he is just a little bit too technical against a guy so pressure and free-flowing as a guy like Christian. So, I mean, this comes down to if he's able to land some heavy leg kicks, get some respect early, land that jab because he slowed down that movement a little bit, he can have some real success. He's got, oh my God, it was like a snot thing that almost just came out. I told you, I'm working through this, man. Don't be fucking soft. I'm working through this. It literally is like bubbling up in my nose right now.
You don't gotta tell me, man. Remember I had COVID 2 Christmases ago? Show didn't stop. I was filming over a break. There weren't even fights. You move, man.
I was sitting here with my cancer face, filming with stitches in.
I mean, it really is like still look like you have cancer.
Well, I probably do. I mean, this could be what this is. But yeah, I think it's going to be the movement of Christian that's really going to affect Kang in this matchup. He's going to find the angles necessary to land kind of the big shots and hurt Kang, and maybe even find a finish in this fight. But it's going to be the angles. It's the side-to-side movement, and that's what he did in his last fight against Tafa to find that big knockout. And I think he finds the angles in this fight as well. But if Kang's able to land some early leg kicks, it could change this 180. But I got to go Christian in this matchup.
I agree. So we're on the same page here. I think Cristian Quinonez is going to get it done. That pressure, the pace, all of that. And Kang's jab is nasty, but he's going to have to be jabbing down because I think Christian's going to be shooting. And
I disagree.
You don't think he's going to shoot? He's
going to have fun in there. This guy's going to be a hittable guy, not a super dangerous guy. I don't think he's going to be worried about the return shots from Kang. I think he's going to be looking for another knockout.
And again, this line movement is interesting. Plus 155 to minus 162. The reason this week has such dramatic line movement, and a lot of people aren't seeing that, is because these are all bet online. And Bet Online is the first to market. At least on this card, they were the.
But if nobody's able to get the lines, then what does the opening lines mean?
People are able. If you use Bet Online, you're able to get the lines
for like 5 seconds. I mean, those things move so fucking fast.
Okay, we've gotten opening lines before, but anyway, that's why
I got some good lines on Amanda Hebos. By the way, but UFC Jacksonville next week. We've got Amanda Hebos and Tabitha Ricci. If you guys didn't know, I was at UFC 285. There's a picture of me and Hebos right there. I watched both Ricci and Hebos in that fight. Actually, you know, I was watching Ricci do some fist bumps after her fight, so I was like, oh my God, maybe I can meet Amanda Hebos after her fight. And then sure enough, after her fight, I go down, I take a picture, I have a nice conversation with her. This was the shirt I was wearing. If you guys didn't know, and it was a great situation. After the fights, me and her went out, had a good time, had dinner, all sorts of good stuff. I was like literally just waiting for you to mute me, but you're just distracted, I guess.
I'm responding to some. There's so we simulcast to YouTube and Twitch, and some dude who's on Twitch is like, "You only have 7 people watching. Why are you not answering my comments?" Because Twitch nobody watches, but YouTube we have 320 people watching right now. So thank you very much.
That was more important for you, huh?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Anyway, you asked why is the opening line important if you can't get it? Well, depending on where you are, what you do, and how often you check, you know, every line you might be able to get or not get.
Wait, what the fuck did this guy just say? Hold on.
What?
MMA Jesus 420. I see his name in here all the time. Hebos and Ricci will lose.
Okay. We'll talk about that next week. I am going to mute him. But the reason that opening line is so important is because you get to see what happened. So maybe you didn't get that line because you're a normal human being that doesn't do this for a living, and you checked when it's convenient for you to check. But to know that, wow, the bookies thought that Kyung Ho Kang should be almost a 2-1 favorite, and then the Sharks, or the Sharps with a P, immediately hit that and run it down. That's important information to have. And then what happens after that point is also important. So Line Movement Tracker is available to you. WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 a month for literally everything. Kyung Ho Kang, $7,400 in DraftKings. Quinonez, $8,800 in DraftKings. I'm going to go Quinonez at that $8,800 because I do think the pressure, the pace, there could potentially be a finish here as well. But both these guys are super tough, and Kyung Ho Kang is an affordable $7,400. I will unmute you. Can you be a normal human being now?
I have $2,000.
Okay. Actually, I'll unmute you for that because that is important. Go ahead.
Don't you ever fucking mute me again.
Oh, fuck off, turd.
I have $2,000 real life money on a parlay with Amanda Hebos and Tabitha Ricci. It is called the Hibachi Parlay. It is trademarked, and it is placed, and I've never been so confident in my girls in my life.
All right, well, that's next week. This week, are you going to do Kyung Ho Kang or Quinonez in your lineup? I know you like Quinonez to win, but $8,800 seems kind of steep.
Oh, he's going to light his ass up. He'll probably be in my lineup.
All right, well, there you go.